Hey guys, I just got the USS Hill. I've been looking at this boat for a while, and I like wacky little destroyers. So I thought I would buy this boat. I don't really know a ton about it. I just like its torpedo layout, and I like having, mid-tier US destroyers. So I thought I would jump on here and go through this ship and just kind of talk about what I'm thinking as I see it. So it comes with a captain. Mine came with a captain named Joseph Bragg, which sounds like kind of a cool name, but I don't really need Joseph Bragg. I'm going to use my gearing captain on this ship. So before we add the captain, I kind of wanted to take a look at the ship as it exists today. So it's a destroyer. Armor layout is unimpressive, particularly at tier 5. Everything here is, maximum of 13 millimeters. In fact, it's 10 millimeters in a lot of places, everywhere. So not an armored ship. That's okay. That's not a surprise. Taking a look at survivability, no torpedo protection, of course, again, lightly armored destroyer. 12,100 hit points is all she brings to the table. Under the artillery section, we have 5 single-barreled 127 millimeter guns, very standard fare U.S. armament for this tier. 1,800 damage is your maximum with an HE shell, and an AP maximum of 2,100, meaning probably it doesn't really do you a lot of good to switch to AP very often on this boat. The HE penetration is about 21 millimeters, so you'll do good work against other destroyers and things, but for heavier armed ships, you're going to want to make sure you're targeting the superstructure. The camouflage looks pretty cool on it. It's got like a little zigzag looking thing over here, which I like. And on this side, it looks like kind of a patchwork of the different blues that are associated with the U.S. Navy in World of Warships. As far as how it looks, I think it looks like a pretty cool boat. A couple of turrets here that have the encasements around them, or the protection for the crew, and a couple of turrets out back that are exposed turrets, which is kind of an interesting mix to see. What you see on the hill is 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 torpedo launchers. And in fact, let's pull up the numbers on those. 3 by 3, essentially. So 1 that can probably shoot to both sides. I'll find out when I jump into the game, but that's a pretty traditional layout here. And then 2 that are dedicated to either starboard or port side, right or left. Maximum damage of these guys is about 11,700, so that's actually pretty good, particularly at tier 5. It's a fine amount of damage. 5.5 kilometer range, so you're back in pretty traditional I can't even think of the phrase that I want, but basically normal US torpedo range for this tier, right? Nothing special, no 8-click, 9-click, 10-click torpedoes. 56 knots, again, low speed, but at that range, if you're not going to need a high-speed torpedo in order to hit the mark. So this is probably going to lean into being more of a gunboat. The guns have a range of 11.3. At least until everything in the world changes about captains, we can count on a captain perk increasing that range for us. And we'll see what happens afterwards. AA defense of 37. So this is actually, at tier 5, that's a pretty serviceable number. That's going to be a worthwhile boat to resist enemy aircraft carriers. So that's kind of cool. These depth charge racks at the back are pretty cool looking. Obviously a U.S. flag flying over the thing. So yeah, decent AA defense. Range looks to be 5.8, which for a destroyer is really good. That means you're really going to want to regulate and monitor your torpedo, your AA enabled status, right? You're going to want your AA on when you want it on and off when you want it off. If you look at your concealment, detectability by air is 2.8, so your AA range is basically double that, or exactly double that. So if you don't want to be detected, you're going to want to make sure your AA is turned off. But that's not different from most destroyers. So I think we're in the same boat there, no pun intended. Maneuverability, max speed of 37.5 is not zippy fast, but that's not very slow. Now there are a lot of destroyers down around this tier that are 34, 35 knots, so it's going to make some speed. Rudder shift time is a brisk. Not brisk, is a quick 3.1 seconds. I don't remember how that compares against other tier 5s, but we'll grab the Farragut here where it's 2.1 seconds. So probably not quite as nimble, say, as the Farragut. But of course, it's a tier down from the Farragut as well. And depending on what we're allowed to put on there for other options, we may be able to get that cranked up. Concealment Oops, I've expanded the wrong box. Concealment of 7.2. She doesn't hide, does she? But a captain perk will help with that as well. And we talked a little bit about the detectability by air as already. So that's kind of the basic rundown of the numbers associated with the USS Hill. A boat I've been kind of eyeballing, like I said, for a long time. Let's throw my captain on there. I have a 19-point captain for my gearing. Got a little 19-point Dasha here, so we'll plant her in the driver's seat. She's got things like concealment expert, of course, superintendent, which is very useful for destroyers, basic firing training, which is going to make my reload a little bit faster. Does not have AFT. I don't run AFT on my gearing because I don't need additional range on that boat's guns. I usually run it in kind of a stealth mode, and its guns are so lofty and floaty, the shells are so slow that I find that additional range doesn't actually help me in the gearing. It would be kind of nice on the hill, so it's kind of unfortunate I don't have it here, but I'll live. So that's going to help me out in a lot of ways. Detectability comes down to 6.4. Maneuverability doesn't change. That's usually a hull upgrade, which I won't have on this ship because it's a premium. AA stays about the same. Torpedo speed goes up just a little bit. Oh, that's actually a bad thing because now my range goes down to 4.4. So she's the wrong captain. I'm going to send her back to her gearing and see if I have another destroyer captain I can borrow. I might not, honestly. I think I might just have the gearing captain. Fletcher captain. Excuse me. I bet you I don't. I'm going to go back to my reserve. Joseph Bragg, you got your job back. We're going to start with a fresh cap. Just because I think Joseph Bragg is a great name. We're not going to boost his XP at all, but we will give him priority target. I think... oh, wait, do you have 0 points? Oh, gosh. Well, I'll give you 1 point. That's silly. So we'll give you a priority target. That's where we're going to land here with the hill. Eventually, though, I think we'll have some improvements. We will just stick with that for now, which is somewhat disappointing. I need to build up a U.S. captain, but I don't want to take the time to figure that out at this very moment. So I've got a couple of naval battles left. That's actually what kind of drew me to pick this boat. And I have a 300 XP number that I need to hit here in a destroyer. So we're probably going to roll out with this guy. Let's take a look at equipment and things. So we kind of know a little bit about these pieces of gear so far. Let's actually first I want to go to exterior. So before I forget, I want to put on my community contributor or military month flag. Excuse me, I'm not a CC. The Dunkirk flag. No, not Dunkirk. It's a U.S. ship. So Brooklyn Navy Yard. We'll go into signals, and I'm not going to bother with too many of those right now. Let's take a look at the alternate color scheme. Oh, cool. So it's got a brighter one. That's kind of neat, I suppose. What is this one? Does it have like a Mad Max camo? It does, but I'm just going to go with the traditional. I think that's the best looking one of the options that I have. For signals, what do we do here? I guess we could do a couple, but I'm a little bit low on signals right now. Wargaming, get at me. Give me some signals. That's what I get for choosing a coal box every time. Okay, let's talk about upgrades. Main armaments modification is going to make sure my guns don't get disabled. It's going to maintain their survivability. It's going to make them repair faster, keep my torps working. That's probably pretty solid. I don't think I've got a whole lot to worry about with... I mean, I could want to keep my AA up, especially at Tier 5. We're seeing a lot of activity at Tier 5 with aircraft carriers. Magazine mod is going to reduce my detonation chance. I'm going to go with main armaments mod. It's kind of a jack-of-all-trades sort of capability that's good for a lot of boats, and I think it's good for this boat too. In a destroyer, damage control systems is less of a big deal because if I'm going to catch fire, I'm going to catch fire. I'm more worried about getting stuck, being dead in the water. So I'm going to throw this engine room protection modification on there. We'll take a look at this last option. Aiming systems mod is going to make my dispersion lower, which sounds pretty good. Main battery mod is going to increase my spin around speed. I bet you these babies spin pretty fast already. 12 seconds for a 180, so that's not a slow... I always think of the Sims as the gold standard. That's the fast turn, which is 5.3. So the Hill is not as fast as the Sims, but 12 seconds is still pretty quick. I don't know that I really want to waste it on that. AA guns modification time lets my priority AA sector come back faster and be ready to go. Torpedo tubes. It's really not a torpedo boat. I don't know if dispersion is going to be a problem for us. What's our max dispersion? Is only 100 meters, which is a pretty low number. Let's take a look at a couple other destroyers here. 112 on Sims. 95 on Benson. I mean, it's right there in reasonable. 92 on Gearing. It's not the most accurate, but it's not bad. I kind of wonder if main battery modification is actually, or maybe even AA. You know what? I'm going to go with AA guns, which is odd on a destroyer. But since this boat has decent AA, has 37 for its rating, let's amplify that, right? We'll min-max it just a little bit. So, okay, I don't know if that's an optimal configuration. I'd be interested to check the wiki, see what people say. But maybe they know, maybe they don't know. Okay, let's take this this Hill out for battle. I'm going to mark this as a primary ship. We have our naval battles enabled. Let's go see what we can get done. All right, USS Hill. They found some ships for me to sink. Let's go see how it goes. Hopefully this winds up being kind of a fun battle. I've only got a 1-point captain on here, which is probably a poor choice. You know, if you think it is, go ahead and get at me in the comments below. But let's get into it. Ugh, 7s. That's not fun. Look at this big square rack of cables on this thing. Wow. Yeah. I've been kind of excited about this boat. It's just a weird little layout. The islands in this map are going to be a positive thing for me in the Hill, because I'll be able to use them, weave in and out. So I think I'm going to head over to the northwest, and we'll see if we can't get some damage done over there. Become a thorn in the side. Now there's the Nicholas. I really liked the Nicholas. You may have noticed if you were in my watching and paying attention when we were back in port. I don't have a Nicholas today. But back when I played that ship, I really got to where I liked it at the end. Didn't like it much at first. I was primarily a Japanese destroyer player at that time. And I felt like the U.S. destroyers were weak because they had bad torps. They were easier to see, blah, 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 blah. But the Nicholas, once you kind of get the hang of that type of battle, like where you're dancing back and forth, you're working your guns, you can get some work done with that boat. And I'm hoping the same is true of the Hill. All right. People are asking for help. People are offering their help. That's dope. I like that. I'm going to give my team the old good luck, have fun, and we will steam on into the action here. Hope everybody's getting ready to have a good holiday season. I am on vacation now, so pretty excited about that. As we come around the corner here, we're about to see some bad guys. Acasta is close, within torpedoing range, but I don't know that I really want to get up close to that guy. Excuse me. New Mexico's in there. I'm going to kind of be a little brave this first battle, maybe more than I should be. My detectability is 7.2, I need to remember. In fact, I'm going to hit some smoke here. And as soon as I am encircled in puffs, I'm going to try to be a gunboat. Let's see how this goes. I think this is a ship that I would like to have AFT and BFT on, but what is this joker doing? Get out of my smoke, buddy. Come on, pal.
Smoke screen set.
There we go. Very traditional consumables, right? I've got smoke, I've got turbo booster, I've got damage control party. So nothing too fancy. It's not like I've got a radar or an acoustics module. This isn't anything other than a a pretty basic U.S. battleship or destroyer, excuse me. But I do have 3 torpedo launchers, and that's the thing that kind of makes this boat sort of special. Just working my guns here from safety and smoke. I've got about 5,000 damage. I just landed a fire on that battleship. I'm hoping that it continues to burn. He looks like he's having kind of a bad day. I don't know. He looks a little blue. He's got that frosty fur camo, so you know he's having kind of a bad day. It's actually a really good camo by way of bonuses and just not a very attractive one. Alright, alright. 10,000 damage now. We're trying to keep those numbers climbing and working. That fire is doing me a lot of good. And he's doing that New Mexico a little bit of bad, that fire. So we will just keep on trucking here. We're doing a pretty good job, I think, given that it's first battle out in the hill, and it's just kind of a fun little tub. I'm going to give him just a second. Ooh, a Duca. Duca's got me on acoustics. Not muy bien. Well, in that case, I'm going to fire away because I'm already spotted. Might as well be shooting. ABS. It's not an anti-lock brake system. It's always be shooting. Some of these Gunsy destroyers, that's kind of the tick and the trick, the ticket and the trick. Trick and the ticket? Look, I don't know. Words are hard, and you guys have caught me saying them poorly in this video. Ooh, baby. So torpedoes coming across my bow. Go ahead. Shoot me. See if I care. I do care, actually. I'm very sensitive to being shot. We already talked about my terrible armor layout.
Main turret critically damaged. Engine boost activated. The ship is on fire.
Gotcha. Oh no, they got me. They got me good. Oh no, the hill, the hill. Let's watch these torpedoes and see how they land. Pretty exciting first battle. Again, I told you guys I was going to play pretty aggressively and just lean in and get into the action, which is exactly what I did. I think one of these might connect. Ah, he must have dodged him. I bet you he's safe. Or did he already sink? No, he's up. He's up. Good job, Duca. 07, buddy. All right, well, I missed. Hey, guys, thanks for joining me as we checked out the hill for the first time. That's my first battle on the hill. 26,386 damage, 70 gun hits, 2 fires, 1 torpedo, 1 flood, 1 airplane kill, but, you know, no carriers in this battle, so I bet you I'd have gotten more if we had CVs. Again, appreciate you joining me for the first look at the USS Hill. I hope you got kind of what you wanted out of this video. If you did, please subscribe, and come swing by Twitch and hang out with me there. I'm at twitch.tv/Clyde Plays Video Games. You can watch me play World of Warships on Tuesday nights, Pacific time in the US. We start up at about 8:30. And on Saturday mornings, we do World of Tanks. Again, thanks for watching. Hopefully this was educational and valuable to you in some fashion. And if not, hopefully it was fun. We'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.